Oh my goodness, it finally went live. Howdy, neighbors. David here. And today on Boondock Stallions, I have just been sitting here waiting for my computer to take me live for like 5 minutes. So this is going to be fun. I don't know if I'm actually going live or if this is going to be coming out all broken and gobbledygooky. But if it doesn't go live right the way I'd like it to, then I will just refilm this thing later and give you all my conclusions then. So until then, happy hunting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get ready. We're at over 102 subscribers now. This is super awesome. I'm happy to have been reaching out and talking to all of you and looking at your comments. And some of you guys are great. Like some of you guys are super great. Regina Phalange. I'm not sure that's your real name, but I like it anyways. Today, we're making our final predictions on Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Now, for those of you that know, this has been the groundbreaking idea that I've had since the beginning. This was my very first theory on the channel. I made it my very first video about 2 years ago and I posted it. There's a link down in the comments for you guys if you want to go check it out later. But I'm also re editing it and putting it back out tomorrow with some new graphics and designs because the video is perfect. I was going to remake it and redo the entire thing, but it is flawless as it is, except if I were going to make any changes, I might cut out some of the time where I'm rambling or stuttering through a sentence and just tighten up the time and give you some visuals and graphics that I didn't have at the time because I didn't have a camera or editing equipment or anything. So I'm going to re-release it and do that for you all later on tonight, and it should be up first thing in the morning. So look for that. All right, Mark is commenting. I can repeat what, Mark? What do you want me to repeat? The whole thing? I'll let you deal with that. Anyways, um, so Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Now, first of all, what do we know about the original battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald? We got it from the back of a chocolate frog card in the very first Harry Potter book. It says that Dumbledore is best known for his legendary duel between Grindelwald in 1945, and that's pretty much it. You take it at face value that Dumbledore, being the greatest wizard of the day, beat the greatest dark wizard of the day was a no-brainer, and they didn't really have to put too much thought into it. And then you get all the way to the seventh book, and you find out that during this battle, Grindelwald was actually in possession of the Elder Wand, which is also known as an unbeatable wand. And then it didn't click in my brain for a while, but if he's got an unbeatable wand, how did Dumbledore beat him? Short answer, he didn't. I firmly believe that Grindelwald was still in love with Dumbledore and that the two of them surrendered to each other, thus making Dumbledore the winner and Grindelwald the defeated one. And so there's evidence for this in all of the books, especially when you get to the seventh book. Grindelwald dies taking his secret to the grave that Dumbledore had the wand. He would rather die than let Voldemort desecrate his dead lover's tomb, and that's exactly what he did. Once Voldemort figured it out, he kills Grindelwald, goes to the cemetery, cracks open the coffin, and plucks the wand from Dumbledore's dead hands. It's pretty intense. And so I needed proof, I needed evidence, and I just finished rereading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and it smacked me right in the head where Dumbledore's evidence came from. And I rambled there for a second. I was sorry. I was trying to read Mark's comment on my uh, computer. I'm good now. Excellent. Connection is going good. Um, so the whole divide between Dumbledore and Grindelwald happened when they killed off Ariana Dumbledore when they were young. Um, in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Aberforth says that none of the three of them knew which one of them cast the spell in their duel that killed Dumbledore's younger sister. They weren't sure if it was Aberforth, uh, Albus, or even Grindelwald himself. And so I think that Albus, thinking that he was the one that killed Ariana, turned his back on Grindelwald and the life that they were going to build together to do good in the world, and that was his penance for what happened with his sister. Grindelwald, realizing that he was the one that cast the spell, blamed himself for breaking up the relationship, the greatest love of his life, which was, in fact, him and Dumbledore, and decided to carry on his plans without him and carried on down the dark path because he took the blame for Ariana's death. And then Aberforth himself also blamed himself for the death, which is why he was pretty much living in isolation as a hermit his entire life, away from other people. He just didn't want to have to deal with it. But what if one of them knew for sure which one of them killed Ariana Dumbledore? And reading Harry Potter 4, and there's an entire chapter title that gives us the answer. You ready? You ready? Priori incantatem. Yeah, the reverse spell effect. It's even shown to us early on in the book when Barty Crouch finds Winky and Harry's wand and performs the reverse spell effect to find out that that wand cast the spell that led to the dark mark being up in the sky. And they blamed Winky because she was the one who had it, not knowing that Barty Crouch Jr. was under the invisibility cloak and yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to get into all of that, but you understand that there is a way to find out what spell was cast with the wand. So Dumbledore could have easily pulled the Priori Incantatem spell on his own wand and known that he, in fact, sent out the spell that killed his sister, knowing 100% that he was the one responsible for killing his sister. He was the one responsible for breaking up him and Grindelwald, and he was the one responsible for breaking up these three's relationship and sending them off on their own way, which would be a great burden to be taken off of Grindelwald's shoulders, I think, to find out that he wasn't the one that was responsible. I think that when we get to their final duel, we're going to find out that Albus is going to tell him, yeah, it was me that did it. I checked my wand. I flung the spell. You're completely innocent of it. And Grindelwald, realizing that in his anger at being at himself, that he's gone down too far down this path, he surrenders his wand to Dumbledore because he's still in love with Dumbledore after all this time. Always. So that's my final theory for the movie. And it doesn't even have to come out in this movie because whether this movie does well or not, J.K. Rowling has stated that she is making 5 of these Fantastic Beasts movies, and this would be number 3 of 5. And the legendary duel happened in 1945, and this looks like it's taking place sometime in the 1930s. So J.K. Rowling's going to get these other movies. I mean, even if this doesn't do well in the theaters, it doesn't have to. All it has to do is make its money back, and J.K. Rowling will fund the rest of it. She's gotten eccentric in her. Sorry, I hit my table. She's gotten eccentric in her billionaire status or whatever. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.